Oh, come on, DJ. Man, come on, DJ, man. You know he hit me on purpose. I said, damn, dog, what game you watching? Of course he hit you on purpose. Didn't you just see your dude hit me? I play right field, you play right field. Of course he hit you on purpose. The fact that he looking at me like, oh, man, DJ, can you believe? He did that on purpose. So we run to the dugout, right? Derek Bell went on a disabled list, right? For like 2 months off that hit. From that. And I remember Avery going, damn, I just wanted to protect you. I wasn't trying to hurt the guy for 2 months. I was just trying to protect you.
What's up, everybody? Change the Game Baseball Podcast, episode 7. The boys are back in town after a little week off of some traveling, some golf, some celebrity events, all the good stuff. So good to have you back in here. And we got a lot of things happening right now.
Yeah, we got some good stuff.
A lot. And like recent, like fresh.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think today's going to be a good episode. We are going to start off with the retirement of Angel Hernandez, which makes a lot of people happy. I mean, a lot of people. I'm going to give my quick take on this, and I want to hear from you because I assume you had him for some games,
okay.
Or you know him, but
okay.
I want to give the fan perspective and then hear it from a player. So for me, like as a fan, there's certain things I think that fans feel and have a certain take on, but we're not the man in the arena, right? We, like everything, even when we talk about guys here, I have the utmost respect for anybody that's playing this game, and my opinions come as a fan, as a guy that didn't do it myself. So it's easy to sit back and coach from the couch, you know what I mean? But when I look at somebody like Angel Hernandez, and as a fan, it's you get so irritated by certain things. And I looked at him and was always just like, how is he even still in the league? And there's so many things. It's the calls, it's this. But for me, what makes a bad umpire for me is an ego. And when I look at him, I feel like there's an ego there to him. And I feel like that's what irritates me. And then the validation of my thoughts comes from hearing Sabathia say, I don't know why this guy is umpiring a big game. I don't know why he's here. And players have no problem speaking out against him. I think he was bad for umpires in general. I know if I was an umpire and they said, hey, you're going to be with Angel Hernandez, I'd probably be pissed. Like, dang it, I'm going to have to deal with some stuff. So from a player's perspective, if you had him or stories or whatever you got on him, how does it feel for you guys in looking at Angel Hernandez?
Well, first, let me say this. The relationship between the umpires and the players are special. Like, I had special relationships. I mean, guys like Ed Rappuano, Randy Marsh, Tim McClellan, Ted Barrett, just to name a few. I mean, Jake, these guys were great umpires. They were fun to talk to. You could talk to them. Hey, that's a little bit off the outside. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or, you could talk to them when they were at the bases, as I'm running out to right field, left field, checking in on them. What's up, Ed? What you been doing? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But for Angel to have lasted this long is absolutely amazing to me. Because there are many examples, Jake, of just his inability to get calls correct. I mean, last year, let's just talk about last year, he only umpired 10 games, okay, because of a back injury. 10 games. And had 161 errors.
No.
161 in 10 games.
Unbelievable.
Like, see, people got to understand, as a player, we work hard in the minor leagues to try to make it to the big leagues. And we expect the umpires to be the top-notch, top-level umpires. And you got to remember, Jake, you got umpires in the minor leagues that are probably really good, that can't get into the big leagues because that space is being filled by Angel Hernandez. And you couldn't even talk to Angel, man. You couldn't be cool with him.
No.
There was just no leeway there. There was nothing. So a lot of guys didn't like him. And then the fact that he and Major League Baseball came to an agreement, that lets you know that enough is enough. There's too many eyeballs are on your deficiencies. And the goal of Major League Baseball is to put a top-notch product out here of great pitchers, great hitters, but we want our umpires to be on the same level because you're dealing with people's careers.
Yeah.
I mean, literally. The rookie in Texas, the kid that came out of Florida, the 3 pitches to him, all 3 outside, 3 sliders. And you heard the commentator, like, oh my God, like what is going on here?
Mm-hmm.
As a hitter, when you have an umpire, and honestly, Angel Hernandez isn't the only one, or wasn't the only one. But when you see Angel come out there and he's holding that mask and he's got those shin guards on and that chest protector, Jake, as a hitter, you're like, man, he's going to make somebody Cy Young today.
Yeah.
I just hope it's our pitcher because we know that it's going to be tough hitting for us. I remember Frank Pulley. Look, now that they have that box, see, the game has changed because now the average fan can be looking like, hey, that's outside the box.
Oh, yeah.
But back when we played, there was no box. Jay, we had a day game in Dodger Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Pulley. I love Frank Pulley. He used to call me Justy. I come up to the plate. He goes, hey, Justy, I got dinner reservations now. We're not going to be here long.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm laughing. Hey, Frank, how you doing? I said, Frank, I only need 1 strike.
Yeah.
That's all I need. I'll get you to your dinner reservation on time. I just need 1 strike. First pitch, fastball away, about this far outside off the plate. I said, Frank, if you been calling like that, I need all 3 strikes, dog.
Yeah.
I need all 3.
Yeah.
Back then, there wasn't as much, there wasn't as many eyeballs on the umpires. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the best pitchers always got few inches off the plate, both sides of the plate. But now with so much interest on the umpires, the mistakes that Angel has made is just so glaring. And again, when you got all the players disliking you, nobody is crying today that Angel Hernandez has retired. Nobody. Not me either. No present, current player, and no past player is upset about that. And I'm happy that Major League Baseball came to this agreement, whatever it was, with Angel, because as a player, you want your umpires to be working as hard as we're working. And in my opinion, Angel was not a good umpire for a long time. And the fact he held his job for a long time with that attitude that he had, you know what I mean? Just go on ahead and retire, man. Enjoy the rest of your life. You know what I mean? And I don't wish nothing bad on Angel.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably a good guy, probably a good family man, probably, I don't know. I'm talking about in between the lines. In between the lines only, he didn't give you a fair shake that often, and it sucked.
Yeah, that's the thing. It doesn't matter what kind of person you are. This is a game. He's not going to, you're playing a game. Your stats have nothing to do with your personality. You are what you are.
True
so when you're on the field, like you said, we're all here. Your guys' careers are on the line.
Absolutely.
A 2-0 count or a 2-1 count is a whole lot different than a 1-2 count in the big leagues at any level. But at that level, it's like
2-2 bases loaded with a young player who's trying to prove consistency, trying to prove to the organization that he's a big leaguer, and you call a pitch 4 inches outside for strike 3 in a big ball game. You're playing with that kid's career now.
It could really be
you're playing with his career
that changes the trajectory of his career.
It does happen. It has happened. It has happened. You see? And that's one of the things that sucks, because there's nothing worse than being up there at the plate with the bases loaded and you got an umpire that's sitting back there that is garbage, all right? And now this pitcher throws a fastball or a changeup or a breaking ball that never gets back to the plate, and, they call you out, and now you walking back dejected. Everybody sees, he just struck out again, right? Not knowing that, the ball was off the plate, though.
Yeah.
You see? So I'm glad that Major League Baseball and Angel Hernandez came to whatever agreement they came to. It's time to take it to the house, bro.
Yep. I agree. Angel Hernandez, we'll see you later. Thanks for the time. Not going to miss you. No, well, we are going to miss the rest of the season. Ronald Acuna Jr.
Oh, man.
Huge bummer. Huge bummer.
God.
I always get worried on the non-contact injuries where, he's takes a little fake break to the base at third, ball in the dirt. He took a little, or I think just a throwback to the pitcher. Took a little fake break to third, and maybe he planned on going, I don't know, but keels over right there, holding his knee, and it's just sad. This guy from age 22 to 26, which is your prime, he went 22 years old, COVID season. 23 years old, blows his ACL. 24 years old, he ends up playing right after the recovery. So probably not 100% that season. If he was, probably some nerves of not wanting to get hurt again. 25 years old, he's fully healthy. He's the MVP and he puts up record numbers. 26 years old, tears his other ACL.
Yeah.
And this is one of the immediate top 5 guys in the league on every list there is. It's not even up for debate. So that to me is, man, it's sad.
It sucks all the way around, Jake, because you're talking about one of the most exciting players in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Leadoff hitter for one of the best teams in the National League, the Atlanta Braves. Plays with a lot of fire, man. Aggressive on the base paths. We all know he can hit for power all fields. Although he was off to a slow start, but he was, reigning MVP.
Yep.
We know what he's capable of doing. And when I see him go down, man, and just think about the amount of work it's going to take for him to get back again.
Mm-hmm.
I think about, King Griffey Jr. I think about the injuries that happen to these young stars sometimes they get. And, King Griffey Jr., when he went to Cincinnati, oh, man, and the injuries that he sustained, if King Griffey Jr. would have stayed healthy, I think he would have eclipsed the home run record for sure.
I do too.
But injuries are part of our game, but you hate to see the stars go down. You hate, and personally, a guy who had a lot of injuries in my career, I just hate it for Acuña and what it means to this Braves organization now, because you got to replace a guy who can steal bases, who's a solid outfielder, got a great arm. A guy, like I said, who can hit for power, who is literally the catalyst at the top of that lineup. A guy who can score 100 runs. We saw the type of year he had last year when he was healthy. The good thing, Jake, is he's only 26. You see, he's still young. But I just hope this isn't a trend in his career of now starting to get injured.
Mm-hmm.
As he continues forward. But God, it's a severe blow because they lost Strider. You lose Strider, and now you lose Acuña. And although the Braves won the World Series without Acuña a few years ago.
They won it on the year that he tore his ACL in July. They pulled in Jock and about 4 or 5 other guys.
I think Soler, did they bring in Soler
They brought in
year?
Jock, Soler. They brought
but
5
they brought
guys
in some pieces, and it worked. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
To go along with the other pieces that were already there. Do the Braves have enough to still compete and win? I would say yes, because the Braves have been successful in winning this year despite his slow start.
I know.
I might be singing a different tune if he was off to another MVP caliber season where I would say, oh, man, that's going to be tough to replace. He's off to a great start, but he was off to a very slow start.
Yeah.
And the Braves are winning. But still, it's a tough loss for that organization and for him. And we'll see how it shakes up. It'll be interesting to see if Braves go out and try to make any moves like they did that year.
Mm-hmm.
Or are they going to go with, is it Kelnick?
Kelnick and Duvall.
And Duvall. Now they were platooning.
Yeah.
Now, if you're Kelnick and Duvall, here's your opportunity. Which I'm always a fan of young players getting that opportunity because that's the one thing I always say, Jake. Players are always asking, just give me an opportunity, coach. I just want an opportunity to show you what I can do.
Yep.
Kelnick's going to get it. Duvall's going to get it. Here's your opportunity to show the Braves that you should already been in there.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, but it's a big blow for the Braves, and I hate to see it, because you know how I am with the Braves, and I hate to see it for a young player because I know about injuries and what it means to the individual. And another thing, Jake, when you get hurt, now you're on the sidelines. You're not working on your game.
Mm-hmm.
You see, so it's not like you're getting better.
Yeah.
Not like you're getting better. It's not like he's going to be out here taking batting practice.
Especially with a knee,
so your game
anything.
could slide.
Mm-hmm.
It could slide. Don't think it can't if you're not working on your game. So these are all the question marks I think that will be answered in the future. But the Braves got to figure out now what they're going to do and how they're going to get it done because, their goal is still to win the World Series. Yeah. Despite this injury and despite Strider. They're going to try to piece together what it takes. So Olsen and Albies and Riley and Osuna.
Riley's coming back, I think,
He's
in a
back
week
now.
or so.
He's already back.
back.
I think he's back already.
Okay.
So, and Osuna, I mean, there's still thunder in that lineup.
It's an incredibly good lineup.
Yeah,
and I think Duvall
thunder.
and Kellenic they're certainly not
and
Acuña.
They can play.
That's the thing. They've been good, and you probably know how hard this is. They've been good on a rotation basis. You give them every day for the rest of the season, I think you're going to get some really good baseball players out of them. I think this team, if I was them, I would go find some pitching rather than find somebody to replace Acuña. I think you already have the guys to replace. Your lineup, their lineup is... I think
you have enough offense.
I don't think it's any different than a Dodgers lineup where it's like, eventually this lineup is going to click. And if we get the pitching for the long run and we get the pitching and these guys we have right now are clicking during playoff times, they'll probably be a wild card and they're going to be as good as the next team. Yeah. So I like it. It's going to have to get through the Phillies who are playing good. But
yeah, Phillies. We said this a while. I told you, Phillies, man, you got to watch out for them, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With Ranger Suarez and Nola and Wheeler.
And
I mean, you got three legit starters at the top of that rotation going into the playoffs. If we fast forward to the playoffs, and the Phillies, I'm telling you, man, they have guys up and down that lineup that can do it, man. They can do it. And they just a gritty bunch of guys that can find a way. So it's going to be tough for the Braves, man. That's a tough division. The Phillies aren't going anywhere. So we'll see how it pans out.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. I like the Phillies because of like you said, the grit. They obviously have superstars, but they have guys, now they look like the Braves where there's some superstars there, but maybe this will create a little grit that the Braves might have needed without knowing they needed it, and it's like, that's the team that's going to get there. So it's, sign me up for these guys that have something to prove.
Jake, 162 games, man. There's a lot of nuances that go into these 6 months. And these are things you have to deal with. You have to deal with injuries. You have to deal with slumps. You have to deal with pitchers giving it up or your bullpen giving up or your closer, struggling. This is all a part of that soup that makes up a major league team, a major league season. And everyone goes through it. That's why it's a long season, man. It's a marathon. And it's better that it's early. We're still early, even though we're about to hit June. We're still early, but moves have got to be made. And I mean, there's a lot of decisions. But you're giving Kellenic and you're giving Duvall an opportunity now to get in the lineup consistently. From what I heard from Brian Snicker, that's what they're going to do. Yeah. We're going to roll them out there, and here's our opportunity. And with the consistency now of being in the lineup every day, they'll get an opportunity to show what they can do. Yeah, and hopefully they'll ball.
Another guy, superstar, not injured, but this guy is exceeding my expectations. I was certainly not a hater of this guy, but I didn't think he was going to be this good. And Juan Soto, and he's in a funny spot because you got the Yankees come out and say this payroll is not sustainable, and then he comes out and says, "I'm open to hearing from anybody in the league. I'll end up wherever I decide." He's not obviously married to the Yankees now, which brings up an interesting thing to me. At this point in Soto's career, and you're a guy who's been through it, you got this chance to obviously sign the life-changing contract. You go where the money goes, or you look at a place where you really want to be. You want to be comfortable. You want to go win. I hope he goes somewhere that he feels like he can win versus somewhere that pays him the money. It'll probably be not far off either way. I mean, the money won't be much different regardless, but I'd love to see a player like him go to a place and say, I want to win, because I don't think we see that as much these days, where players have an option to go wherever they might want to go, and they pick the team that's going to win. You see him take a whole bunch of money to go to some team for the past 15 years hasn't been good, and when they dump all the money into one guy, they're not going to be able to get the pieces to become good, but that guy got his bag. So I hope Soto goes somewhere if he does to win. That's what I'd like to see. He's going to get paid either way.
Juan Soto turned down a 15-year, $440 million contract. When you turn down that kind of money, that means you must have a lot of confidence in your abilities. Because we just talked about how injuries are part of the game.
Yep.
And he's been relatively injury-free. He's only 25 years old. It's amazing that He is going to be a free agent at 25. He'll turn 26 in October.
This guy lit the World Series on fire at like 19.
Look here, man. When I look at Juan Soto, I see an offensive player who he's on base all the time. I mean, he's got a career on base percentage of 420. He has an unbelievable eye. His feel for the strike zone is beyond his years. He hits to all fields. He can hit for power. But there's only a few teams that can afford him.
Yeah.
It's not like everybody is coming for him, Jake, because not a lot of people are going to be willing to shell out the amount of money that Scott Boras, one of the toughest negotiators that this game has ever seen, is going to go top dollar. Who can even give him that money? The Dodgers have just spent $1 billion between Yamamoto and Shohei. The Mets have the highest payroll in the game. The Yankees are second. I don't think the Dodgers are willing to pay whatever kind of money it's going to take. I think the Dodgers are happy with what they have. Okay?
I agree.
The Mets, are the Mets really going to throw that kind of money at one player? Because they have deficiencies in several areas.
And they're coming off of 2 seasons of paying all the money to all the guys and it's not working out.
Exactly. So now you get a little gun shy, right? So I don't think that there are going to be a lot of suitors for him this offseason. When I watched him last year with the Padres, I felt like we weren't getting his best.
Yep.
And I don't know if it was West Coast environment or the Padres environment or whatever, but I didn't think that we were seeing the best Juan Soto.
I don't either.
I didn't think it.
That's why I was down on him coming into this year.
I understand because I have friends who are big-time Padre fans that watch every day and saying some of the same things about Soto. Soto is the type of guy, to me, that has to be on the team where the lights are bright.
Yeah.
He's got to be on the team, man, where there's some energy. He's not going to go to a team that's not a good team.
Yeah.
Because if he does, he won't play as well. I think a part of his success is built around the guys that are around him, the organization, the city. He's made for the Yankees. Now, I know he's open to everyone. That's a Scott Boras line.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you make sure you tell him now in the interview that we open to everybody. Yeah. That's the company line now. Don't fall away from that.
Yeah.
However, there ain't too many people going to be out there. Now, Juan Soto, to me, I want him to look at himself and say, you know what, I want to be the best that have ever played this game. I would like for him to have that attitude. Because the one thing about his game that I have a problem with is I don't think he takes his defense as serious. I'm a corner outfielder, so I can speak on this. I see, in my opinion, too many balls fall in right field that I feel like could have been caught.
I agree.
I see angles taken on balls that I feel like that's a bad angle. So I feel like, once again, Barry Bonds, Ken Griffey Jr., as great of offensive players, we talk about how they were, these dudes were unbelievable defensive players as well.
Yep.
They were the total package. I want to see Juan Soto challenge himself to be the total package. You see, challenge yourself to be great defensively. Become a better defender, and that would be my challenge to him because we're talking about a guy who's going to hit. He's in his prime. You literally could get a player for the next 10 years who can still be in his prime for that long.
Yeah.
For that long. He's going to want 10 years for sure.
Yep.
Turn down a 14-year. I would be shocked if somebody gives him a 14-year deal because that's going to take him into 40.
Yeah.
And we have seen historically how bad guys are after age 36 on these long-term contracts.
Quick drop off.
We already know. We already know. So, but Boras, Scott Boras is gonna go for that 14, 15 years, gonna try, but I think 10 years. But I don't think the market is gonna be as big as people think. I only think there's a few teams that would really put up the money that Scott Boras and Juan Soto think they deserve. And it's going to be the Yankees. I don't think the Dodgers are going to do it. I just don't. They just spent $1 billion. and they look like they're okay, Dodgers. Yeah. But who else will be out there? The Braves aren't going to do it. No. Baltimore's not going to do it.
And he's adding money to his price tag every game he plays.
Every game.
This season's been unbelievable.
But again, if I'm ownership, but see, I'm different because I played, and I've seen guys play unbelievable in those contract years.
Oh yeah, happens all the time.
That's that incentive. Mm-hmm. You know, every day he's getting closer to free agency.
Yep.
Right. Every day in his mind, I just got to stay focused, keep doing my thing, and the money gonna come. Money's gonna be there. I'm just not sure if it's gonna be as big as they think, because I just don't think there's enough teams out there that's gonna be willing to pay that price for a guy who is, in my opinion, one of the best young hitters in the game.
Yeah,
for sure. You know,
how valuable is he if he's not on the Yankees with Judge and Stanton and four guys behind him to drive him in? If you put him on a team that doesn't have those hitters, how valuable is the on-base percentage? I don't know what he has for steals. I don't know how many bags he's swiped.
He had 12 bags last year. He's not really a base stealer. He's got like 4 this year.
Yeah.
I think his most is 12, so he's not really a base stealer. But that's a great point, because he's going to thrive on teams where he's got guys around him that are also really good. Mm-hmm. He's going to thrive with the Yankees because he can take that walk. And we see as Judge goes, so does the Yankees.
Yes. When
Judge gets hot, now they off and running.
Yep.
Stanton, as powerful and as strong as he is, can be very inconsistent.
Yeah.
But you still got the first baseman, Rizzo. Still got Rizzo in the lineup. I've always liked Gleyber Torres. That's one of my guys. I like him. And then Vogel at the top of the lineup that's playing well. He has guys around him that can play the game, that are solid. He needs guys around him.
Yeah.
But more importantly, he has to be in an environment that challenges him every day to raise that level of play. We didn't see it in San Diego. So I was a little surprised this year to see this version of Juan Soto, because I really didn't see this version of Juan Soto that much last year, even though he had a good statistical year. I mean, I think he drove in over 100, but
it looks like a different player.
He looks like a different player. Yeah. Like you said, the Yankees come out and say, hey, this payroll is not sustainable. This type of money is not sustainable. That's almost sending a message that we may not even be here for you when it's all said and done.
Yeah. It could be a lot. That could be a lot of things.
We can offer you a little something. We can offer you a great contract right now. But I still think he's holding all the cards.
Yeah.
Because he's off to a great start. He's playing great. The team is playing great. They win a World Series. He's really holding all the cards now.
Yeah.
Because those Yankee fans, if they win a World Series with Juan Soto, your Yankees almost have to re-sign him.
Yeah.
They almost have to.
It does feel like an absolute chess move to say we can't afford this payroll for many reasons. Could be, like you said, to him, a message that, hey, don't expect this gigantic contract. Could be for the other teams that are in the running going, ooh, good. Maybe we don't have to give them as high of an offer. And then I'm just saying the few that are in there thinking, I'm
with you, but
sweet. There's a couple.
Jake, who?
I don't know. I have no idea, but there's obviously going to be a few. Maybe they'll come in lower thinking the Yankees don't have the money, and then they go, good, that was easy. Here's our offer. And he goes,
no.
Sweet.
What I'm saying is teams are going to come in at a number, and this is our number. Period.
Yeah.
So if you don't want this number, your career's over now, I guess.
Yeah.
You no longer play. You no longer play baseball.
Yeah.
Or you play a 1 year, or we get you for a 1 year contract somewhere. No, seriously.
I can't imagine the Yankees are not the highest offer on the table. I can't imagine they're not the highest offer.
You would assume the Yankees be the highest because he's already there. They got him. You want to make it comfortable for him. The fans are definitely showing a lot of love, but he's balling, so of course they're going to show a lot of love. Yeah. Fans are showing a lot of love. They're giving him the feeling that they want him. They've embraced him. But I just don't see how, for the amount of money that Scott Boras, I just know Scott is one of those negotiators, man. He's going to be trying to get, Scott might ask for $1 billion. I swear.
Yeah,
Scott might ask for $1 billion.
Yep.
That's what Scott Boras does, right? We'll start there. But as you've seen, just like last year, some of his clients signed late, from Blake Snell to Bellinger. Some of his clients, they signed late. Yeah. They were out there for a while. and then signed late. And you may see that with Juan Soto. He may be a free agent for a while. I'm willing to hear all the calls, but the phone is not ringing like you think it is.
Yeah.
You see, and it's going to be it's going to be really interesting to see, because if the Yankees get a feeling that there's really nobody else out there that's really willing, then now they hold all the cards.
Yeah.
Because you either come over here with us, where we just had you for a year, you enjoyed yourself, had a great season, or you just don't play no more.
Yep.
I mean, and really.
That's how it feels like it should be. I mean, I'm all for players getting their money, but whatever the top here's what you feel like you're worth and believe you're worth doesn't actually matter, because whatever somebody's willing to pay you is what you're worth.
Exactly.
That's what, if you think you're an $800 million guy and the highest offer is $550, you're a $550 million guy. That's just the way it is. So it'll be interesting.
Why'd you say $550 like we talk about 100?
I'm just saying.
I mean, you just a $550 guy.
I was in the $1 billion range with him, and now that's what I'm saying. So
man, you only worth $550, man.
I feel you on that. So I don't know.
So
it'll be interesting.
It's really going to be interesting, because offensively, he is in his prime. He is one of the best young hitters in the game.
Yeah.
Defensively, he needs to bring that up.
Yeah.
If it's me GMing, owning, I got, but maybe because I was a former baseball player, a professional baseball, and I played the outfield, so I know how, as an outfielder, we can change the game defensively as well.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not asking you to be as good as Ken Griffey Jr. Not asking you to be as good as Barry Bonds. But I need you to be better than average in the outfield. And too many balls have fallen in that outfield where I felt like, how'd that ball fall?
Yeah, I think that's an easy ask, because that's like I played outfield. That's a decision to give a better effort. He's obviously a big league outfielder.
Yes.
And you can overnight become better, saying, all right, I'm going to just work on getting a better jump and read today, and I'm going to get to a ball. I'm going to make better decisions to say, hey, I normally might pull up on this. Let me go 100%, lay out, make a play, whatever. So I'm with you. I think a complete player.
Anticipate every ball being hit to you.
Yep.
Have the communication with Judge. Okay? On certain balls, the line drive over the second baseman's head from a right-handed hitter, that's mine.
Yep.
Okay? Aaron, you come around, because that line drive over second base, a lot of times it's got that little hook coming back toward the right fielder. So that's a better play, an easier play for the right fielder to take the inside, and Aaron Judge will come around him.
Yep.
These are all communication. You got to up your communication. Anticipate that every pitch, the ball will be hit to you. And what am I going to do when this ball is hit to me? All those things go into being a better outfielder. Also, understanding the tendencies with the hitters. I see a lot of guys now looking at these cards, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm still shocked by that one. Why you got to look at a card? Jake, if I see you hit enough times, I know exactly where I'm playing Jake.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to play Jake right over here.
Yeah.
But you have to be thinking like that, see? Yeah. You got to want to be better in the outfield. And I'm not knocking Juan Soto. I want to see him, he's a special kid. I want to see him be a great player. But not just a great offensive player. I want to see you be a great player all the way around. And defensively, he can do better. He can do more.
I do agree, because it's in him. It's easy to ask when you think something's in somebody. Now, time for memory lane with Justice. We got story time for you.
Okay, I got one for you. So, people talk about the Braves pitching staff all the time, as they should. Greg Maddux, John Smoltz, Tom Glavine. But there's one guy that always gets left out of the conversation that I believe should be in the conversation every single time, is Steve Avery. Because Steve Avery was 4 years younger than us. We all thought Steve Avery was going to outlast all of us. When Steve Avery took the mound, we all felt just as confident that we were going to win as with any of those other three guys. So we're in Houston. And, there's a little bit of talk about how, hey, our pitchers aren't protecting us. You know what I mean? Like guys are getting hit, and we're not really hitting anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of got a little grumbling going on. Hey, fellas, man, y'all got to start. Hey, listen, man, y'all got to start hitting somebody, man, when we get hit, right? So we're in Houston. And Doug Broquel's pitching for Houston, and I hit a 3-run home run. Bam, got him, right? So my next at bat, I come up and boom, I get hit. And it's hard. I'm hard to hit. Only 18 times in 14 seasons. Yeah. I'm hard to hit. But this one time he got me, right? Boom, right? Okay, cool. All right. So I come into the dugout, right? And Steve Avery comes up to me. He goes, DJ, you think he hit you on purpose? And I was like, well, Steve, I mean, it was the same situation. I had men on base. And so I was really sitting there thinking, like, did he hit me on purpose? I mean, I still had men on base. Well, I put me on base. And as I'm sitting there lost in thought, Avery he just taps on the leg. Hey, don't even worry about it, bro. Don't even worry about it. Mm-hmm. Avery goes out there next inning. Here comes Derek Bell, the right fielder for Houston. Whew. Yeah! Hits him in the side. Bam! Right? So Derek Bell goes hobbling down to first base. And so I'm in right field. And see, right field in Houston, our dugout is third base. So they make the last out. Derek Bell's in between first and second. And he waiting on me.
You got to come jogging right past him.
He waiting on me, right? So now I'm jogging in. I'm looking at him. He looking at me. And I'm looking at him, right? And so I get close. I start walking, right? And he go, oh, come on, DJ. Man, come on, DJ, man. You know he hit me on purpose. I said, damn, dog, what game you watching? Of course he hit you on purpose. Didn't you just see your dude hit me? I play right field. You play right field. Of course he hit you on purpose. The fact that he looking at me like, oh, man, DJ, can you believe? He did that on purpose. So we run to the dugout, right? Derek Bell went on a disabled list, right? For like 2 months off that hit. From that. And I remember Avery going, damn, I just wanted to protect you. I wasn't trying to hurt the guy for 2 months. I was just trying to protect you. But Avery doing that, man, made us love him even more because he was willing to protect us if we got hit. Which, let me just tell you another quick one. So now we in Florida, and Maddox hits their right fielder in the head. Hey, Jake, Maddox, with the best control of anybody, just hit the right fielder. I can't remember who it was. I'm traumatized. If they had a camera on me in right field, I'm in right field like this. Oh, Lord.
Oh, no.
I'm like this.
Were you coming up early in the next inning?
I'm coming up next inning. I know they going to hit me. One, I'm one of the leaders on the team, and I play right field. Hey, Jake, you know how you up there? Yeah, I know. Hey, look, I got my dancing shoes on. I'm in there like this. And I think the catcher was like, oh, Justin think we gonna hit him. Let's pitch to him.
Let's just paint him a couple fastballs that way. He's done.
Yeah. I'm like, doggy, man, listen, man, you can't be hitting nobody in the head. Yeah. And if you go hit somebody in the head, don't make it be the right fielder. Hit one of these other dudes in the head, man. I'll never forget that, boy. I was dancing. I was dancing at the plate that day. Oh, come on, man. My feet move. I'm acting like I'm really hitting. I'm ready to move. Yeah, so, but that I'll never forget Steve Avery doing that. But the funniest part of that was freaking Derek Bell looking at me like, man, you know he hit me on purpose. Yeah, dog.
You're the only one that thinks he might not have.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, I bet everybody in your dugout know he hit you on purpose. Yep. Didn't y'all just see me get hit after the 3-run home run? That was, and I used to hang out with Derek Bell too, believe it or not, but that was some funny stuff, man. That's awesome. That's my one story today.
I love it. It's a great story. All right, we got Jake's takes, and then we got time to get real with us in a minute. I'm just going to roll off the Angel Hernandez and the umpire thought today with parents, players, coaches, more at the youth level, obviously, but kind of like you said, there's umpires you can go build a relationship with, and it matters. Just like it matters if that guy comes out of the gate in a youth game, he is not there to screw up the game. He's not there to, he's getting paid his money. He's not there to screw over some kid in his at-bat. He's just going to go do his thing. You know, when you do that in the first inning and you call a ball that's a little off the plate, a strike, and you got the other team and the other coach going, come on, Blue, like it will be worse for you for the rest of the day. Mm-hmm. It's just going to be that way. I think parents and coaches and players, if they understood how many bad calls and subjectiveness and ego they like insert into the umpire based off the things they say and do and the way they treat them, they would stop doing it. My first year coaching high school, I was that guy. I was arguing stuff. I was young, fired up. And then I made a relationship with one umpire just throughout the course of the game. Simple. How you doing today? Good to see you again. And it changed the way I treated them for the next 8 years. But, I mean, I had a relationship with the umpires where I'd go out there sometimes to argue a call, and we'd be down 4-0, and he was right. I'd get out there to him, and I'd go, hey, you're right. It's a good call, but my team it's a ghost town in that dugout. I got to fire him up somehow. So I'm going to start kind of yelling, and then you just yell back and send me to the dugout, and we would just kind of do this acting, I'd be like, how do you miss it? And he'd be like, get in the dugout. I'd be like, oh, goddamn. I'd walk in the dugout and be like, anyone else want to get fired up? Tired of watching this crap, blah, blah. And the kids would be like, all right. Yeah, coach is fired up. But that relationship, and then you see him the next game, 5-6 games later in high school, and they're like, Jake, what's up, man? Hey, nobody's ever done that. Nobody's ever said that. And simple as like after the game, shaking their hands, thank you, blah, blah, blah. If I could give the advice to any parents, kids, and players, just don't react. There's times that warrant it. And really, the only person's job it is to do that is the coaches. Let the coach do it. Players, parents, especially the older ones, high school, you're getting scouted. They scout everything. If they listen to somebody complain about the pitcher, that their pitcher's not getting calls in the stands, and then they find out that that's a kid they want to see, and they find out that that's that kid's parents, the whole dynamic of that kid now sucks because mom and dad are in there yelling at the umpire. And my advice is you just got to let the game play. It's not going to change anything for the better.
That is so true.
Get the umpires on your side, and by just being a good guy, good person, good fan, good whatever, and it will change the game for you, I promise. So that's the umpire talk. Let's get real here. You want to go first or second this time? You got the box. You go first, or I'll go first.
Here, you go first.
Time to get serious for
Here
a
we
minute.
Go. All right, this should be pretty easy for you, Jake.
Doing good.
The question today for you is, how is your relationship with your parents?
Oh, man, it's unbelievable. I'm lucky enough to have them here, have them local, and to me, it's like family to me is the only thing that matters at the end of the day. And obviously direct family and then friends and people that you create as your family, relationships in general. But man, my parents they're just so good. I know that when I was like 18, 19, I talked to my mom one time and she told me, she said, me and your dad we would have got divorced if it wasn't for you and your sister. And so it was basically like, we stayed together for you guys. And at 19, I looked back on my whole childhood after that. I'm like, I would have never known. They looked happy, and they were at times, obviously, and they're still married today and, got through it. But I think there's a lot to say about staying together for a reason or whatever it is. And eventually the marriage might work itself out anyways. But I'm so thankful that they created that environment for me, and they've been supportive of every last thing I've done. I mean, everything. And genuinely happy for whatever successes I have, whether it's something they think is, something, would you want your son to be doing this when he's older? It's like that. They don't care. Is he happy? Is he successful in something he cares about? And my relationship with them is, unbelievable. And I feel super blessed for that because I know not everybody gets that. And I don't look past the fact that I'm lucky to have it, and I think everyone that has that kind of relationship is. And my parents, they're like the world to me. So
that's awesome.
Our relationship is great, and I'm thankful for that. And now it's your turn. Now it's your turn today.
No write-ins now, Jake.
Hey,
don't have your penmanship on there now.
Let me read my writing here. Here's a good one. This is a real good one. What has been your biggest reality check moment in life? Wow.
Okay, Jake. So in 2007, when the fires came through San Diego, we lost our home.
Mm-hmm.
So I lost all my memorabilia, everything, all our kids. Our kids were young then. So I would say our oldest son was like 8. Youngest son was 5, and our daughter was 3. And, when the fire came through, Jake, because I geographically, I know certain places around where I live, but I'm not a California guy. I'm from Cincinnati. So my brother-in-law was telling me, hey, the fire is over here in this place. And I have no idea what he's talking about. But I'm like, hey, man, listen, just let me know when it gets close to us. But 2 years prior to that fire I'm talking about, we had another fire here in San Diego that almost got my in-laws' house.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember how bad the air quality was. So I'm sitting there that night, 2007, And it was actually one of the most beautiful nights in San Diego. I mean, it was windy, and I was just standing outside. And I got the notion that, you know what, told my wife, hey, we should go over to our cousin's house who lives over by the water because the air quality might be really bad over here. I had just remembered from previous years. So we loaded up everyone, and we left all our cars. So we used to have a Chinook, like an RV 19, 20-footer. We put the dogs in there, kids, and we took off for the cousin's house. And before I left, I was like, you know what? I wonder if I should take the cars out and park them outside, like on the street. Mm-hmm. But then I was like, ain't no way a fire gonna hit my house. I was like, I got a better chance of somebody looting us than our house burning down.
Yeah.
Jake woke up the next morning, got a call from one of my neighbors, said, hey, the fire trucks are in your driveway. Your roof is on fire, but they're there. So I relayed a message to my wife, hey, our house is on fire, but the fire trucks are there, so we should be all right. Man, it wasn't but 30 minutes later, another neighbor of mine called me and said, hey, your house is on the ground. I said, what are you talking about? So the biggest reality check was a lot of times we watch TV, Jake, and we see a lot of catastrophes that happen around the world, from tsunamis to fires to earthquakes to tornadoes, and none of us ever think that anything like that could actually happen to us.
Yeah.
And when I woke up that next morning, Jake, and only thing I had to my name was a bag in my hand that I had 2 days worth of clothes in it, because I had only planned on being at the cousin's house for 2 days.
Yeah.
And then we're just gonna come back to the house. Everything I own is literally in my hand in a bag. And the reality check was, it can happen to me too.
Yeah.
These catastrophes could happen to me too. And after that going forward, I always believe that anything can happen to me as well. Because we live in a bubble. And when you see everything happening to everyone else but not happening to you,
yep,
you think it happens to everybody else. You think you're untouchable.
Yeah.
Until this happens. So my reality check was, anything can happen to me after we lost our house in that fire in 2007. And all I owned was in one bag, Jake.
It's crazy.
Everything else was gone. And when we went back to the house, there wasn't a burnt shoe. I mean, like, everything was burned. Yeah. Everything. And that showed me how powerful fire actually is.
Oh, yeah. Scary. That's unbelievable. Well, that's a reality check that obviously everybody's healthy and nice, but a big one that changes the course of your life and how you approach life. So it sounds like
sure.
Wouldn't call it a blessing, but something that puts it in perspective for the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
All right. Another good episode. We talk baseball. We talk stories. We talk real life, give some advice, and I enjoyed this one. So thank you guys for being here. If you've made it this far, you are to the end. Make sure you follow everything you need to follow. Stay up to date with us. We're pumping out content because we appreciate you guys watching it. We enjoy doing this, and I hope you guys can feel that through these episodes and learn some things. So we will see you guys on the next one.